Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. It is Saturday, 16th of September, 6 a.m. It's a ripper of a day outside. There's not a cloud in the sky, and I'm inside talking to you, not out there taking photos. Today we've got regular Mr. Macro McMillan. Morning, Greg. How you doing?
Good morning, good day, good afternoon. I'm doing all right. it's late afternoon here for me.
Late afternoon.
Yesterday
What's
for
that?
you.
4, 5, 6.
4 o'clock on Friday for me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
are you working today?
I'm finished now for the weekend.
Oh, that's why you're so happy there.
Yes.
Yeah. We might even talk a little bit about the Apple incredible Apple environmental launch.
Event. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the incredible event. We'll talk about it maybe a little bit because today's guest is. I don't think he's an Apple person at all. I don't think he is, because most of what I've seen of his is either with a camera or one of those the Android phones. So we'll now, word of warning for everyone who is watching. We've got a feeling his internet might be a little bit flaky. Occasionally, it's not often, so his audio might just crap out a little bit. We know about it. There's no need to spam the comments with his audio shit or whatever.
Just because we know.
Bear with us, it'll come through. Trust me, it'll work fine. And he's never live streamed before, so feel free to throw many questions at him. He seems like a really nice guy. Well, anyway, let's bring him on. Morning, afternoon, Brent. How are you doing, man?
What's up? Yeah, you're in the future.
We're the future. Yeah. So in the future. Do you remember?
I'm only in the future. I'm only in the future by a couple of hours, but Shane, he's into tomorrow.
That's right. Cutting edge. Do you remember the millennium bug when that thing was happening?
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
And everyone was like, the world's going to end.
I was in high school. I was 16.
Okay.
2000.
Yep. And when that happened, because Australia and New Zealand got the day before everyone else, I'll be honest, I was pretty drunk and nothing happened. nothing at all happened. So, mate, welcome to the show. Do we call this a show, Greg?
I would. Why not?
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
There's three of us now, so it's definitely a show.
That's right.
Yes,
Three's
absolutely.
Company. No, two's company, three's a crowd. Greg, you got to go. So I could.
You just wanted me on the bottom of the screen.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
I didn't.
Oh, there he is.
I'm always going to be up there. So, Brett, welcome to the show. I used to ask people, give us who you are in a tweet, but these days a tweet can be a bit longer. So tell everybody who you are, where you are, and what you do, and why you're here.
It's in an X now, ain't it?
Yeah,
that's right. Tell us in an X. That's right, mate. So, who are you? What do you do?
I'm just some random guy in the desert.
Sounds like somebody I know.
Yeah, different desert. That's all. Different stuff. I think a lot of people know me for phone stuff, but a lot of people also know me for.
Hey, Brent, maybe just get closer to the microphone.
Yeah, is that any better?
Yeah, it might not. It'll probably pick you up a little better, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think just a lot of people know me for extreme sports. I kind of do everything.
You do extreme sports? I'm going to ask you questions occasionally that you've already just said because the audio dropped.
Yeah, I do. I started with extreme sports actually in photography. So
okay.
Back in the 90s.
Yeah, righto. Yeah. So now do you do video production and YouTube photography, that sort of thing? That's what you do?
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. And obviously you play guitars and take photos of very, very distant objects with that lens. You know what they say, the blokes who carry around big lenses, right?
What's that?
They've got to have big tripods to hold it.
Yeah, I'm all handheld.
I just wanted to see the look on Greg's face to go, oh God, where's he going with this? So you do on your channel. Tell us about your channel. Like, when did you start? Because you're about to rock over 100,000 by the look of your numbers.
Probably a week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, just on my channel is everything. Lately I've been focusing
At the
more
critical
on
point, you go
wildlife and
silent.
landscape.
Oh, it does come. It does
yeah.
come. The audio's following a little bit. I think it's just the internet, mate. I don't think it's anything at your end. I think it's just the internet.
Well, you definitely have some fans in the chat.
Bad?
Yeah, it comes in and it comes out. It will be okay. It will be okay. So you say what you. When did you start your channel?
I think I started it in 2010, but I
Yep.
don't think I did any photography related content
2014?
until- Yeah, that's when I started the photography stuff.
Yep. Cool. Very good.
The-
And
This might
phone-
not be
sorry,
good.
Tyler, okay.
This might not be good for the show, but it might be better for the audio. Brent, if you turned your camera off, try that, and just I mean, I hate to do it that way, but it might make the
Yeah.
audio better. I'm hoping.
So tell us again, mate, when you started your channel?
I started in 2010, but I started photography in 2015.
Yep. The audio is heaps better right there. I think it is the internet. It just can't handle the bandwidth. So what I should do is like get a photo of you and put right here.
Yeah, you could do that. Also, I think I had it set on the high def.
Okay. Well, bring it back and we'll see.
Yeah, we're doing live troubleshooting.
That's okay. People, but my regular viewers here, they know.
Oh yeah.
This is not. Oh, we've lost him altogether. Device is
Uh-oh.
not connected. Oh, he's still there. He's just lost his devices. I'll see if I can. No, he's coming back. There, he's coming back. You're back. You even look clearer. He's gone.
Okay, so I changed it in the settings. I changed it to the lowest video,
Yep.
to 360p.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Now the fellow on
Is
the
that-
screen, still cutting in and out, mate. That's okay. We can get through it. If it ends up turning to absolute shit, we'll bring you back another time. It's no big deal. It'll be okay. You will have fun here. Like, Greg's a nice guy, and I also control what happens here. Sometimes I'm nice as well. This
Somebody
fellow
said
on
in the comments. Somebody said in the comments that there's 2 active mics.
I only see the one on yours.
Okay. I mean, I hoped that plugging this in was a little bit better. Sounds
Getting
funny.
feedback as well. He's not going anywhere. That's a name that I haven't seen before. From Mexico, I've gotten good shots with my Poco X3. Cleans that last bit of your comment there. The clean sky and zero light pollution is the key for mobile photography for astro. Would you say, Brett?
Yeah.
I'm going to keep on calling you Brett. I'm really sorry. I don't know any Bretts. Really sorry, but I know a few Bretts. Sorry, mate.
That's all right.
This is like the Forrest Gump speech in front of the crowd. Oh, Scott Scott, how was the weather? Did you obviously you didn't get blown away in the hurricane or whatever you went through?
Well, I don't think it's quite there yet, but
Oh, okay.
it could be. I don't know.
He's
I'll have a
in
look.
Nova Scotia.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
Hurricane Lee?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when did you first take photos with a phone of the stars?
I tried the I remember the first successful thing might have been the S9. And
Okay.
successful is a very relative term. It was successful comparatively speaking to previous
Yep.
cameras.
Yep.
But then I think it started getting good, like what I would consider at least, usable. S10, S10 plus, something like that maybe is when I started thinking that it might be possible. But for a long time, Samsung only had up to 15 seconds in pro mode.
Yep.
And they only had up to 800 ISO. And that was, I remember that was the problem with the S9. And then after that, they started updating and getting the new pro mode and stuff. And then I think when pro mode came around and the full 30 seconds and ISO 1600 came around, you started having potential there.
Yeah. Yep. So your approach with, because you do DSLR, mirrorless photography and phone photography, where do you think the space of phone photography for astro specifically fits in the world? Because you can certainly do better images with something else. So where do you think it fits?
Yeah, I think a lot of people go to extremes on either like 0 to 100, black and white type of like. The problem is like phones are never, I say never, like probably not ever going to replace big boy cameras, but that I think people are missing the point. Like that's not the point, software is always pushing hardware, and the computational stuff, the direction that the phones are going, because we know that a phone sensor is this big, unless you just turn my mirrorless camera into a phone, we're likely not going to be getting bigger sensors anytime soon, not big enough that would matter, and so the computational part of that is where the phones are going. Google started it. And now everybody's doing it, and it's becoming more powerful. I think the best thing that I try to impart with people is that it lets people that have never seen the stars or never been able to capture them now do that. And
100%.
I think that's incredible. And I've gotten a lot of people addicted, saying that they didn't know their phones could do that. And then they started doing it. And then 6 months later, they've pushed their phones too hard. And they're like, I bought my first mirrorless today. And then I bought a star tracker. And oh my God, what's he done?
I think I tend to agree with that entirely. It's I used to run astro workshops here. So where I live, I tell people where you live before we go any further.
Oh yeah. I'm in New Mexico, which is stuck between Texas and Arizona. So we don't talk about them. But we love New Mexico. I'm fortunate to where I live in New Mexico. I live very close to the Mexican border. And there's the area that I live in, the Gila National Forest, is actually one of the darkest skies in all of North America. So, an hour from my house, I have Bortle 1 skies, which, I love where I live.
That's awesome. It is awesome. The reason I was saying that is because I think your night sky and my night sky is very, very similar. Like
it's just upside down. Yeah.
Exactly. Like when I watch your videos, I've got to turn my monitor up the other way. Then it works like So
I had somebody before who is like in the Southern Hemisphere, and they don't know much about astrophotography, and they commented on one of my videos saying that I photoshopped the Milky Way, saying that it was fake because it didn't look right. And I'm like, where are you at? they told me, and I'm like, yeah, it's upside down, dude. It's the same. Like,
Yep.
we live on a globe.
More proof that the world is round.
It's Photoshop. It's Photoshop.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally. I photoshopped the whole thing.
That's right. That's right. So I was running Astro workshops here with the big boy cameras, as you say, and people would say to me, because I would sell prints as well, people would say, "Aren't you worried these people are going to take work off you because you're teaching them how to do what you do?"
Oh,
and I've said this a few times before. If you want to get up at 2:00 in the morning to go and take photos that I'm taking, hats off to you.
There's a big
Good
difference
on you.
between can and will.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
So when it comes to phones, and I started this channel when COVID started, so it was something that I could still do, teaching people things, I suppose.
Yep.
And when I worked out that, hey, a phone can actually do this, it doesn't do it as well as like a Sony mirrorless, for example, or whatever insert DSLR brand here. But everyone has a phone.
Yeah.
And it's a way to put your toe in the water to go, I can do this. This is kind of cool, before you lay out lots of dollars on an expensive rig. There's actually one guy. Is Dale here this morning? I haven't seen him. He is there.
Yeah, he's here.
IT tech said to turn it off and on. So this guy, he's got a star tracker for his phone and everything. He's taking some ridiculous photos on an iPhone. An iPhone is probably the worst of the brands as far as the stars go.
Yeah, as far
But
as
it's the
Astro,
biggest-
it's been kind of behind for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easiest to use, worst results.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But, and I say this over and over and over again, when you've got a foreground subject, I think the iPhone captures that foreground subject better than anything else. Just everyone else has got better stars.
Yeah.
You can make a pretty photo with not so good stars.
Right.
So you're only Samsung, or do you have other phones? I've only seen Samsung stuff of yours.
Yeah, that's all I have. I got my
Yep.
son the Pixel 7 Pro.
Oh, yeah.
6 Pro. I don't know. He's been on
Yep.
Pixel for a while. He's had a
Okay.
Pixel since the Pixel 3. I mess with his sometimes, but largely all I've ever had is a Samsung.
Yep. This is this is the Mother Nature thing with the Apple launch here. I see what he's having an idea about the hurricane thing. Did you watch that Apple launch? Maybe,
No.
maybe not. No. You missed nothing.
As
I've
if
you
actually
saw
never
last
used-
year's.
I've never used an Apple. I don't even know
Is
anyone
that
who
right?
has an Apple.
Fair dinkum. It's like the biggest selling phone in the world. You don't
I know.
really.
I know.
Wow.
I don't know many people.
There's
guess-
two people you know now that use
I
Apple.
guess if we're friends now, then that means I know one person who has an Apple.
Well, we both have. Greg and I both use.
People
I
ask
love-
me that a lot on my channel. They say, "Hey, can you do like Apple, or can you do this phone or that phone?" And it's like, man, I gotta pay for these phones. Like, I don't. Like,
Yeah, really.
And
Yeah.
then, or it's like, I don't know anybody who has an Apple. Like,
You
do
now.
it's crazy. Like, the one time I ever did anything with an Apple on my channel was one video, and it was years ago, and it was because I went and visited my father in Atlanta, all the way across the country, and he had an Apple, and he let me borrow it for like 2 hours. And I did some stupid video, and everybody hated it. And it's like, okay.
I find that because I'll shoot Android and Apple and different Androids, I find that, and we've spoken about this before in a live stream, where you very rarely find Apple people going bloody stupid Pixel or stupid Android, whatever, but you always see Android people
hating on Apple stuff. Yeah.
And I just
Absolutely.
replied to a comment in a group today on Facebook. It's it was something to do with the Aurora chasers, like for the province I live in, and somebody asked a question about the best way to get a shot with the iPhone or something like that, an Astro shot with the iPhone. And this guy came in and he said, astrophotography on the iPhone is crap. get the S22. Get the S22 Ultra or whatever. But then he went on to say how to go about doing it with the iPhone, which I thought, okay, well, like, what are you doing here? So I get on there and I commented and I said, look, I said, don't come in here saying that people's phones are crap and just tell them to go buy another phone. They already spent a lot of money on one. They're not going to go spend a lot of money on another one. And, I let him have it. And I said, there's no room for that kind of stuff. It's just stupid.
Well, I get that stuff with phones a lot. And
it was going so well, his audio. I thought he'd fix it.
But I get it with the rest of my channel. Damn. Is it better now?
It was like perfect. I thought, what's he done? It's worked. I really think it's the internet because you went all pixelated then when the audio crapped out as well. So I'd say, see, it's coming back now. You're coming clearer again.
I think plane must have flown overhead. Again.
It's all those UFOs down in Mexico.
We'll take it slow. But yeah, I was just saying that I've had that problem a lot with both phones and, Canon, Nikon, Sony. I have people telling me, oh, you want to do wildlife?
Yeah. What I tend to do with people now is when they have a shot at a video where I've used an iPhone and they've said, oh, you've done this that way, or you should be using this phone. You can click on their profile and you can see if it's a channel or not. And when it's not a channel, what I've taken to now is I searched your profile and I can't find the video that you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shut up. Astro Mode is spectacular. I wish Pixel phones had a pro mode for those shots where you want to tweak the settings. I think this comes back to computational photography with all the different brands. They all have their way of making that hardware work for that device, and that's the way it's going to work. And if you want something specific, an app might do it for you in some cases. Otherwise, you're changing brands, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's because it's more than just the brand.
He's laying down some really intelligent stuff right here doing this.
Damn.
It's not your setup, mate. I'm watching how it pixelates and as the audio goes, I really think
that's crazy because it looks like you guys both look great on my end and you sound good too.
I know. It's my accent. Well, I don't have an accent. You guys have got accents.
Yeah. We're the weird ones.
Be nice if Androids would do what Pixel does automatically, or maybe some can. Some can. And you've done a video about this recently. I've done one, and you did a video that I was going through this stage of what the is wrong with my phone, because every time I'm shooting these expert raw astro shots, it's just turned to bloody pudding. It's horrible. And then I was looking to find a solution. That's when I saw your video about, well, how it all crapped out. Oh no, no audio.
Is none at all.
Oh, here we go. No, there we go.
It comes back when you're done saying what you want to say,
right? Boy, they really don't want me to spill the beans or something.
It's Samsung pushing the mute button on you.
Yeah.
I think the computation. All right, let me try this. Hold on. All right, I just turned my camera off. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is it any better?
I just can't see you, mate. It looks like you're an icon of some sort. You're all right, mate. Carry on.
We'll see if it's better as you go.
All right.
Yeah, you look like a plug. I can't tell if he's being serious. The facial expressions aren't giving it away.
Right. That little X will give you everything you need to know. All right, so we're gonna
go on about this S23 with the Expert Raw. What you found?
Yeah. So I think back to
I swear it knows when you're going to say something good
or bad.
or bad.
Go again,
Somebody
Brent.
just said he's in Portal 1. That's why we can't see him.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. It's just too dark.
Oh, here we go.
All right. Well, it doesn't.
Your Wi-Fi Ethernet, mate.
It's on Wi-Fi, but Starlink.
Oh, that's exactly my setup.
Oh, nice. I've been looking into it. Everybody tells me that I look like Elon Musk, and it's been like the newest rave on my
Well, I was thinking it earlier, but I didn't say it.
my channel.
I'll just point out he was the one who corrected me on it's not called Twitter anymore. Just saying. No one's ever corrected me before. But Elon Musk here, our guest, has.
Yes.
It's his doppelganger.
It's a conspiracy.
It is.
Yeah.
Elon needs to release more stuff.
Yeah, it's Elon messing with us.
All
today.
the Elon Musk things happening here. Sorry, mate. So go on about
Seems
the S23 Ultra, what you found. Because it is
Well,
for the people who are watching this and using Expert RAW for your Astro, this is pretty important.
yeah, basically it comes down to the computational. They did something in their Expert RAW that basically it's no longer, they took the DNG file and that's what we're getting. Even though it says DNG, it's no longer a DNG.
Yep. If you haven't watched this video that Brent's done on this,
So the image,
and it's got some pretty good examples of what it's doing as well. It's incredibly pixelated almost. It's like a really bad JPEG image. And
Why do they have to mess with stuff like that?
It gives us content to make, I suppose.
yeah, I still wonder
for
or not. I mean,
creators.
because they could have been trying to optimize it for some as a separate app. So they took that app and they put basically a short link into Pro mode so that you can be in Pro mode and not have to leave it to go to Expert RAW.
Yeah.
Oh, so there's some kind of a disconnect, obviously.
That did used to happen. And ever since that update, it's been like completely wonky.
Yep. I agree. And I get people asking me at the moment, hey, can you do some more S23 Ultra stuff? And I'm like, it's not going to be that about the Expert RAW. And it's just
Yeah, I know. People ask me that all the time, and it's just like, no, I'm going to stick to Pro mode, for
Yep. Wholeheartedly agree.
now, because
I think the internet's I'm done with Expert RAW. Now you've got a new phone, don't you, Mike? I think because Mike was using what was it?
He was using the FE2, I think.
Oh, the fan edition thing.
Yeah. And
I mean, he was doing good stuff with it, though.
Absolutely, I'll find.
But he's got a new one now, I believe.
Well, I mean, it should have the same sensors and everything. So, as far as the
that's what Mike's pushing out.
as far as the main sensor goes, in Pro, the same.
Yep.
Oh, I see.
Well,
It's a Star Trek.
Yeah, he's got the Galaxy S22, not the Ultra, though. I don't think.
So he's a bit of an addict when it comes to Star Trails, and he does it really well. I think he does it really well.
Yeah, they look.
And he's up in Illinois.
Oh, nice.
That's just awesome. So the best subject for you to photograph, mate, is you live in the middle of. I almost said something that would get me demonetized. You're in the middle of nowhere, and
Yeah,
you're going to have your favorite types of subjects. See, around where I am, we've got old farm machinery, like dead trees are usually a bit of a favorite here because they're not going to move too much in a bit of wind. Vehicles, rock formations. What sort of things do you shoot? What's your favorite sorts of things?
Well, when it comes to astro stuff, yucca cacti, cholla, agave.
I don't know what that last one was.
Which are technically not agave. It's a giant, just a giant cactus-looking thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, rock formations. I got a lot of cool rock formations.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you light painting a bit. You're a bit. You've got lots of those lume cube lighting. I saw.
Oh, I've got tons of them.
I saw a video you did very recent. I saw it only this morning about the lume cubes. So I use the literal lume, small. Actually, no, I use the Lytra torches, but they're basically the similar sort of thing with the 1 inch sort of cube. And then I didn't realize at the time that Lume Cube does all like LED panels and LED bar lights and things like that. They're quite useful tools for light painting. That's what you use or not?
I use the little ones.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna come back on.
Yep.
Let's see what happens. We're gonna tempt fate. Did it mess up?
We can see. Look, your audio was kind of dying a little bit with the audio only anyway. So don't stress about turning off the video, I don't think.
If you know sign language, I know Chuck Norris can read sign language.
So I use these a lot, the panel.
Yep.
Oh, and I thought he was reaching for the big cannon.
So we got these guys.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. I got one of them.
Yep. I think that a lot of the light manufacturers, they come up with a PCB to do this sort of lighting with like the temperature, then effects and things like that. And then they just put the same PCB into many different formats, like a long light or a panel light or a cube light and things like that. Yeah. So I think even on your video, you said that this one does basically what this one does, just different shape light. Yeah. I have Ulanzi lights all over the joint, and they do exactly the same thing, just different shapes to use for different purposes, obviously. Yeah. Now Ron here, he is probably our resident S23 Astro guru. I think he's probably on the money there. I'll just bring up some photos of Ron's and show you.
I would second that. I would say it's mostly. I would say it's mostly Astro. I mean, mostly the Expert Raw.
Yep.
That I've had the most problem.
Yep.
I think I see a comment here from Jim about the audio issues. Yeah, right there. So if you're using the speakers on your computer, maybe try plug it in some headphones if you have any.
I don't hear any echo. So you guys are hearing echo?
No, but what I'm thinking is the sound coming back from when we talk, and then when he tries to say something, it's getting in the way, I think.
Maybe.
Oh, interesting. Let me try one more thing.
Sure.
We're still troubleshooting.
It's okay. We're not up for any like live streaming awards here on this channel.
Yeah, right. Okay.
That's totally acceptable. I think using kids' toys for light painting I've done it
I wonder if
many times with DSLR and mirrorless. But what I find with phones is that if you can have that light source being adjustable in brightness, it makes the whole process and finding the sweet spot that much quicker.
Yeah, definitely.
He did he did do the Apple one. That's incredible. So you didn't see the Apple talk, mate. It was when I actually get my iPhone 15, it's there will be a little segment of how many times these people said incredible throughout that hour-long presentation, because it was heaps. It was incredible, ridiculous.
Wow. It was.
Yeah, it was just ridiculous. Everybody's echoing.
And then somebody else
Everything
says they don't
sounds fine to me.
They don't hear any echo.
I don't hear any echo at all.
No.
I don't know. Jim, is it you, Jim?
Yeah.
Jim? Yeah. Sounds like add-ons. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So cactus or cacti? Cactus?
Cacti?
Cacti? See, right then you were laying down some really cool info, but it was quiet.
Damn.
I heard the damn.
They don't hear any echo.
Find all the times you said incredible in your videos. Oh, but do I say incredible that often? Do I, Dale? I don't know. No echo there with Ron.
Camera Lady has said the same thing to me.
What's that? Sorry.
I think it was when I was in Scotland. She did that to me.
She did something. We don't know what it was though.
Yeah, right. The funniest thing about this, and you should definitely watch this afterwards, because you're about to lay down some really cool info, and you go quiet. You go, my camera lady did this in Scotland. She did. It went quiet.
Oh man,
it's been like that all day.
We're definitely bringing you on again. Can't hear anything.
This is why.
So what we should do before we get together again, if you're happy to come on here again,
sure.
is we should. I'll hook one up so that we're not live streaming and we can just record what we're doing and get everything right. I've got a feeling it's just the internet and we don't have much choice around that. And they will certainly give this a go again. It might pick up again in 30 seconds or so. Who knows? I've been quite happy with my Starlink. I think it works really well. So on the screen there is one of Ron's images. Like I said before, Ron's one of our, I would say, our resident gurus for the Android Astro. I don't think I've ever seen him put a bad photo up. Have you, Greg?
No, he's phenomenal.
Absolutely. Actually, he had this photo here for a period of time. It was the banner photo.
Yeah.
Instead of having just the moon sitting in the sky, that every full moon time of the month, that every Android user seems to put a photo on social media. It was nice to see one. That's a phone shot. These are all phone shots. Yep. Yeah. We only have on this is the Facebook group for my channel.
Okay.
So they're all 100% phone shots here. I think now and then he likes to get me to like an image by putting a tractor in it.
Yeah.
Got a soft spot for tractors, eh?
Well, I spend most of my day in them.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that I like them. Yeah. And he does just he captures that galactic core really, really well.
Yeah. That
really,
is
really
so
well.
cool.
Yeah. He does a really good job with these.
Yep.
We'll have a quick look at the comments here, because for some reason your audio, maybe it's just that you're not talking at the moment.
It's great when I'm not talking, right?
That's all you're going to do. Okay. I don't hear any. We're going USB-C. So we'll talk about the iPhone a little bit if you like, Greg, because we so on the launch day for me, I was up at like 2:30 in the morning to watch the live stream, watch their what would you call it? A launch.
Well, the keynote or presentation
at 3
or whatever.
o'clock in the morning. And then I watched everyone being sung happy birthday because a watch saved their life at some point in their recent life. Just to spruik the new Apple Watch. And then there was, I don't know what you would really describe that environmental thing as, Greg. What would you describe that as?
A waste of freaking time.
But
you know,
really
like I get that it's an important thing or whatever, but we're not there to listen to talk about the environment and what they're doing and all that stuff. We want to see the damn products.
Yeah. I don't think there's anyone that knows Apple as a brand that doesn't know that they're all touchy-feely, environmentally friendly. They were the first ones not to give us a bloody charger in a phone, for crying out loud, because it's environmentally friendly.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with charging you more when you need to buy one, and then ship that as well in another set of packaging on another boat.
Yeah.
But that I totally agree. That was, I almost turned the damn thing off. If I wasn't going on your podcast after that, I wouldn't have watched it. I would have just waited until later and fast forward through all that crap because it was just almost embarrassing, I thought. But the phones, for those who haven't listened, go and listen to Greg's podcast on this. We record the podcast within an hour or so, I guess, maybe at 2 hours.
Well, it was finishing. About 2 hours later, maybe. Yeah.
Yep. Enough to digest what we were just fed, and then gave the rundown of what we thought. And go and listen to the podcast, but I'll paraphrase the podcast by saying that I thought that the regular 15 is basically the same as a 14 Pro without an extra camera, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And the 15 Pro Max has a sort of periscope to 5 times zoom.
Well, it's a tetraprism, they call it.
Tetraprism.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. We'll throw these big fandangle words at you to confuse you and think that we're smart. But it's better than anything Apple's had before, but it's still going to come that time of the month. All the Samsung people are going to get have a go at this.
So, Brent, you've got the S23 Ultra with the amazing zoom lens on it. Apple put out a 5 times. With all the money and R&D that they have, they put out a 5 times zoom. And it's not even periscope, really. It's like a tetraprism. Light bounces this way and that way and then gets into the sensor. Wow. And it's just, I was really disappointed. Especially when all the rumors were saying at least 6 or 10 times.
Yeah. That we have 10. We have the 10 times zoom.
Yeah.
And then it can do. I mean, don't ever do the 100.
No. Look at Manos' comment, tetraprism.
Yeah, but the 10 times on Samsung has been good.
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah. And the Huawei has a really good zoom. Like Patricia takes amazing
I think the Sony
pictures.
does too.
Yep.
Everybody wants me to get a Sony. Everybody. So many comments about you should get the Sony and I'm like, you should send me one.
That's exactly what I said.
And you might as well go get the Vivo while you're at it.
Yeah.
Like, just get a second mortgage, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think once you hit 100,000, mate, you're gonna have all these companies saying, "Can we send you a phone, please?"
You know what? You might be joking, but I actually wonder about that. I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends who are YouTubers who are much bigger than I am, and I just wonder if There's like some.
You're like, and I just wonder. That's funny.
I'm just not going to be able to say anything good today. Well, I do wonder about it. That's all I was trying to say.
I think
it could
I
happen.
think that although the number doesn't really mean anything to you and I as far as what happens to your channel besides you getting the plaque, and it's certainly a really cool thing to achieve because not many people get to do that. I think there's definitely merit in that, but I think that when you've hit that number, when someone's looking to say, oh, yeah, where can I send this product for review, and and you would target searches just like I do with setting up your videos. When you've got that 6-digit number, all of a sudden, these brands are going to go, well, pay attention to this guy now. I think, I don't know, my gut feeling is that it will make a difference. Whether they send you phones to keep, I know there's a guy in Australia, what's his bloody name? Sam Beckman. He's been on the channel here before. He does reviews on all phone apps, mainly Androids, and they send him phones. Absolutely, they send him phones. He's probably got 300,000 or 400,000 now, but I'm going to say when he was on the show, he probably had 200,000 or 300,000. And I was talking to him offline about the phones that he has and a new phone that was coming out at the time. He said, "Oh, my what do you call it? My sponsored one or my something like that." But he didn't pay for it. Like that, it was a Samsung phone, and they sent it to him.
Oh, okay.
So it does happen as long as you're right there in their niche and going to sell them phones. They'll probably never send me one because I point out too many flaws in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't always said the nicest things.
That's true. That's true. Yep. That's true.
You know, I say it because
but nothing.
I say it because I'm impartial.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I make no secret here that my phone that I use every day is the iPhone. Yeah. I make no secret about that. But there's plenty of things that the iPhone doesn't do well when it comes to Astro. But at the same time, you can say that the Androids don't do some things that the iPhone does incredibly well. So it's
the video.
100%.
Yeah, video.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. And the stability on that when you've got that action mode going on in video. That's just
Samsung's
crazy.
Not bad. It's just not as good.
Correct. Yeah. And what you just touched on there is something that we've always said, like no one, I personally, I don't think any manufacturer makes a perfect phone. If you could take like the camera system from the Huawei, and I've said this so many times, the camera system from the Huawei, actually, I don't know what you'd really get from that. But if you took the camera system from the Huawei, the operating system for iOS, because I personally think it's the better one for me, you'd have a pretty bloody good phone, I think. And all the apps from the Apple ecosystem.
I was just going to say that because I mean, here's case in point. Mano says, "Please convince Mario to make the even longer app for Samsung phones." It just won't happen, and the app selection for iOS is so much greater than it is for Android, and
it's because
I kind of hate to see that, but it's just
because what's I
mean.
It's because it's not fractured.
Right.
It's not. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, when Moment brought out their camera app, they had it for Android and they had it for iOS. They discontinued the Android one because it was too hard to keep up to all the new devices coming out. I mean, they'd spend all their time coding and not doing anything else they wanted to do if they wanted to keep it going. So they just had to drop it. They had no choice.
Yeah. 100%. The things that I don't think there's anything besides the incredible zoom that this thing has But as far as the star trails and the astrolapses and things like that, it's all achievable on the iPhone just through apps. And that I think is the biggest most powerful thing from the iPhone is just that plethora of apps that's there, as you're saying there, Greg.
Yeah.
Morning, Mike. How's it doing down? Where are you in Geelong? Have you seen? I think I'm not sure if it's just that it's coming up every day in my feed. I think Mike might be doing shorts every day. Is that right, Mike?
Every day for the rest of the year.
Wow.
Oh, did I miss that announcement?
How did I hear that? He might have told me that himself. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Or he might have he might have posted it. I'm sure he'll let us know.
Right. I'm just seeing it
yeah.
every day. And sometimes I go, God, Mike, leave me alone. I stay with iPhone for the apps. Absolutely. Oh, there you go. Image processing of the Samsung. They definitely have different looks. When I've done side-by-side comparisons, there's definitely different looks in the phones. But we've said this so many times before that it's a pretty bloody good time to be a photographer with phones. Because
absolutely,
they're all doing amazing things that 5, 6, 7 years ago you would thought it was never going to be possible to do what we're doing now. We're pretty bloody lucky, to be honest. Bixby. I knew where he was going. What was that?
He says we don't talk about Bixby.
Oh,
we don't talk about Bixby.
So Scott is on the Facebook group that I had on the screen before. There's a few different admins, like Greg and I are admins, Scott's an admin, and Dale's an admin, and Devo, who's not here this morning. And we have a private chat that we talk to each other on. It started out as, hey, is this okay in the group? Is this sort of thing? Is this what you want to do? That sort of thing. And now it's just turned into just a bunch of blokes talking about phone shit. And
or anything.
Struggles, or anything. Right. And he has struggled so badly with Siri and what was it? Reminders. Yeah, and they put this thing on. I don't know who shared it with Marquez Brownlee going on about how cool and fast the processing is in the iPhone 15 Pro, and how Siri is just going to make bad decisions quicker or get it wrong faster or something.
That should be faster and more efficient. It doesn't mean Siri's going to be good. It just means it'll be bad but faster.
That's so funny. You'll be the old guy running around. That happens, Ron. It happens at weddings. Like when I shoot weddings and I talk to the couple and I say, you've got 3 options as far as photos go in the ceremony. 1, no photos, anyone besides me, and I might have a second shooter there. 2, let them have 30 seconds, they can take a photo. Or 3, don't say anything and let them do whatever they want. And the amount of times that people have let them do whatever they want, and there's some old bloke with a freaking iPad sitting up in the air. Yeah, how am I going to make that look nice? Come on. And now you're that guy. Actually, a friend of mine, we're talking here about this tablet shattering. A friend of mine who's got the S22, he had to hit the brakes pretty hard in his car. The phone went flying, that shattered the screen. $1,000 to replace that freaking screen. $1,000, and they can't get the screen here for 3 months. So he's got a new phone now. But I don't know what the iPhone is worth to do, but I think there's something to be said about the flat screen versus the curved screen. It's absolutely crazy. And I don't think there's a cover that I've put onto any of the Samsungs. I was using the white dome. Have you used those white dome glass before, Brent? Have they sent you stuff before? Because you get people send stuff to you, right?
No. I don't have a.
This audio's killing me.
I have companies that send me stuff, but only if I let them.
Yeah. So
I don't have like a bunch of random stuff.
Oh no! I don't get that either. We're not Casey Neistat. But Whitestone Dome reached out to me. It was probably 2 years ago, and they make covers like the screen protectors.
Oh, yeah.
They're pretty bloody good. They put a liquid glue onto it, so there's no bubbles, there's no scratch. It works really, really well.
Yeah, okay.
On the iPhone, but on the ones with the curved screens, bloody hell, I have some trouble getting those things down. It's such a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Anywho, have to add love your wildlife work. Yeah. I think he said thanks.
He did. He said thanks. He just said thanks 3 times.
And it's he uses that big Canon behind him. What size is that? Is that 600?
Actually, please don't mess up right now. I just got that lens an hour
ago. Really? So you haven't even tried it?
ago. I shot a sparrow in my front yard. That's it. Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm about to go shoot my cat.
Is it a 600?
About that lens at all. It's kind of a big deal because of what I had to do to get it.
And what's the focal length?
What size is it? You're cutting in and out a bit.
500.
It's a 500.
Yep.
It's the Mark II version.
So what's the f-stop on this sucker?
F4.
Yeah.
Nice. The audio's killing me.
We're just going to start sign. I know. We're just going to do sign language now.
Yeah.
Ask me yes or no.
If you're in distress,
I said
twice.
I said before Chuck Norris can read sign language. I meant to say Chuck Norris can hear sign language.
I really like Scott's comment, his last comment. Next one.
Dude. You've got a few fans here from the group that is normally in here. Jason Stevenson's he's a bit of a gun mono black and white photographer with long exposure, isn't he?
Oh, cool.
He does some amazing work. So there's two families of apps that we do long exposure with here, pretty like full on, I suppose the term is. There's lots of apps to do long exposure photography with iPhones. With the ones that we talk about here, the ones that I do videos with is Even Longer and the Reflex suite of apps. They've got 3 different apps, and Jason does like some good like 5-6 minute long in like cities where there's water moving and stuff, architectural sort of thing. It does really, really good job. And this Dale Lotherington, he does some pretty bloody amazing stuff as well. There's quite a few very talented photographers in this group. If you're on Facebook, mate, head over and join it.
I'm not anymore.
You'd be surprised. You're not on Facebook?
No.
Living the dream, this guy.
Yeah.
I made a
I made it something.
video about why not. I made a video about why not.
Right. Oh, okay.
Okay, let me guess. It has something to do with the fact that you have a life.
It got hacked.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
I got mine.
I just didn't go back.
Yeah. Do you run your business through Facebook as well? Do you have, or did you?
I have one, yeah.
Yep. And it was
I don't
taken
use it
as
that
well?
much, though.
Okay. So where do you bring most of your work from? Do you do any socials besides YouTube, which is not really a social, but you know what I mean? Do you do Instagram and things?
Yeah, I had Instagram, but it was attached to that Facebook that got hacked.
Yeah.
So I have a new Instagram now, but it only has like 3,000 followers.
Only. Oh.
Well, compared to my last one, it's a big hit.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I only
lost-
have
lost
about 1,200 maybe.
Greg, go and put 1,200 people in your backyard. It's a lot of people still, man.
Well, that's true.
It is. Yeah. Cool. So I reckon we might wrap this up. We might even we'll touch base. Stay
let's do
around
it
after
again. Let's do it
get off
again
here,
when
mate.
when we figure something out.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Yeah, stay
We'll start
on
off here
after
now.
we-
Just stay on, mate. We'll talk a
Yeah.
bit more. But thank you everybody for joining us this morning. We've been going for an hour and we've heard about 1/3 of what Brent has to lay down. So you are this much more knowledgeable when you could have been this much more knowledgeable. But we'll definitely do it again. He looks like he's going to play some guitar for us. Here we go.
Oh, nice.
Oh, what he's going to do is this,
You won't
and
hear
no
it.
noise is going to come out.
Yeah.
and I think that the comment on the screen is the backup for next time. Have a whiteboard reading.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us this morning, this evening, this afternoon, wherever you are, and we'll see you in
yesterday,
2
today.
weeks' time. Yes, right. See you guys.
All right. See you, everybody.